shelter. But let's go ahead and add some perspective to this and show you where we would be seeing a tornado if one is currently on the ground. And as you can see, it is just to the west of our area. So this is going to be currently in Perry County in Mississippi, but you can definitely tell that there is a very clear signature here. What you look for are the reds and greens coming together. The reds signify winds going away from the radar, and the greens signify winds going towards the radar. And I'll be able to draw that for you here on your screen. So the winds moving away from the radar like that, and the winds moving towards the radar like this. And if we're going to be seeing a tornado, that's exactly where that is going to be. This storm is moving pretty quickly to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. So if you are in the path of this storm, you want to be seeking shelter. I'm going to go ahead and put us 30 minutes. So in the next 10 minutes, in the next 8 minutes, we'll be moving towards Richten. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be moving toward Dave. That's going to be arriving within the next 25 minutes. Again, this is going to be a storm that has a tornado warning on it until 3 o'clock. This is not in the NBC 15 area currently. I know that there are a few areas in Perry County that still do watch us, so I want to make sure that you give you guys a heads up as well. But for those of you that are in the northwestern corner of Greene County, Mississippi, now is the time that you want to be seeking shelter. So let me go ahead and clear this off, and let's talk about where that safe place is, because you still have a little bit of time to be able to get into your safe place. So let's go ahead and move this over here and go ahead and talk about the tornado shelter. And as we always talk about, that tornado shelter is going to be in the windows as you can possibly be. So in the most interior room, preferably on the lowest level of your home. If you don't have a basement, again, just go to that first level and you can see this area being highlighted. That's that interior room away from windows, more than likely going to be a bathroom. It might sound silly, but as you go into that safe place, you might want to take a helmet with you or even some pillows and mattress. That way you can cover up your heads, because if you do end up seeing a tornado and flying debris, head injuries are a very real thing that we could be talking about. So as mentioned, northwestern corner of Greene County in Mississippi. So this is right on the northwestern edge of the NBC 15 area. As of right now, this tornado warning, if it's producing a tornado, is currently in Perry County, which is just to the west of the NBC 15 area. So now is the time that you want to be seeking shelter. You have a little bit of time, but now is that time that you want to be getting into that safe place. And as we look and expand the view a little bit, you can see some very strong showers and thunderstorms really getting going just to our west, right along the I-59 corridor, and we are seeing more showers and thunderstorms developing across the NBC 15 area. And one thing that you might have saw come across your screen just a little while ago is that we do have a tornado watch that's been issued for most of the NBC 15 area. It does encompass portions of Mobile and Baldwin County, but it encompasses all of our northern counties and down to Jackson County in Mississippi. The tornado watch that we have for Jackson County, Mississippi, that's going to continue through 8 o'clock this evening. That's really the only different time frame that we have compared to the rest of our areas within the tornado watch, because for the rest of the NBC 15 area, that's going to continue through 10 o'clock. This is all part of that first window for the potential of severe weather. One from the morning through the afternoon and into the early evening, and then one from the evening into the overnight, because of the showers and thunderstorms that we're seeing out there currently will end up going away this evening, and then we'll see a line of thunderstorms move in associated with the cold front that is currently driving everything. But for the NBC 15 area, most spots are included within a level 3 enhanced risk once you get to the northwest of I-65, and then mainly a slight level 2 risk once you get east of I-65. But across the entire NBC 15 area, there is going to be that risk of seeing severe storms. That is why we're going with the code red weather day, to make sure that if you have any plans to be out and about, you definitely want to take the weather into consideration, have that plan in place. A warning is issued for your location, know where your safe place is, and also just know where you would go. So let's go ahead and focus back on the tornado warning that we currently have for the northwestern portion of Greene County in Mississippi. Again, this is going to go until 3 o'clock this afternoon, and this storm is moving fairly quickly to the northeast, right around 45 miles per hour. For those of you in Richten, now is the time that you want to be getting into your safe place, along with Brewer, right along Highway 42. So let me go ahead and throw on the velocity product here, and we'll talk about where the winds are coming from. And we still have that couplet, and that's getting ready to move right over McSwain. So again, this is in Perry County in Mississippi. This is going to go until 3 o'clock, but if we're looking for that couplet, that's exactly where it's going to be. It's going to be moving up towards Richten here in the noon. And again, all this is going to be right around Richten over towards east side as well, with the storm moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. Let's put on a new storm track and get you some updated timings on this particular storm. Again, to the northeast, right around 45 miles per hour. These storms are moving pretty quickly today, and that will continue to be the case. So in Rickton, this storm will be on top of you probably within the next 5 minutes. Good Hope in the next 10 minutes. In Mulberry, 18 minutes. And then you can look over towards Piave, and that's in the northwestern corner of Greene County. That is the NBC 15 area. And now we're sitting at 20 minutes. And a few minutes ago, we were just talking that it was about 25 minutes away. So if you're in the northwestern corner of Greene County, Mississippi, kind of in that zone between Highway 42 and Highway 63, all the way up towards the Wayne County line, now is the time that you need to be getting into that safe place. And thankfully, you do have some time to get in there as we are tracking this storm. But I don't want you to take this storm lightly. You definitely need to be getting in that safe place because we do have that defined couplet right there that's being shown. Look at the rotation detector. This is looking for wind shear within the environment. And you can see over towards McSwain, that's where we're seeing, I would say, some of the strongest. And then when you throw on the relative velocity product, that's exactly where we're seeing that couplet. Again, where those reds and greens are coming together, that's exactly where a tornado would be if it is if you're currently in Rickton, can't stress enough, now is the time that you want to be getting in your safe place. And for those of you that are watching in northwestern Greene County, if you know of anybody in Brewer, Rickton, McSwain, and even up to Good Hope, let them know that they need to be seeking shelter immediately, as this is a life-threatening situation. I'm going to go ahead and check with the National Weather Service in Mobile, indicating that within the next 3 to 5 minutes, the storm is going to be moving over Rickton. Please take cover immediately in your safe location if in the vicinity of Rickton and the remainder of northeast Perry County. So anywhere, again, between Rickton and then northeastern Perry County in Mississippi, you need to be getting in that safe place. Again, we're on air for this tornado warning in the northwestern corner of our area. This is for northwestern Greene County in Mississippi. This storm moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. So moving pretty quickly. So let's get ahead and get a new radar scan in on here. And you'll probably hear me say probably say things over and over again, but we're still updating the timing on this. So now we're within 20 minutes of the storm moving towards Piave. I'm going to go ahead and go down to street level in northwestern Greene County. And then if you're in these streets, and if you know of anybody in these streets, these are the spots that need to be getting into that safe place. We have Union Road, we have Pat Bird Drive, we also have Manning Hill Road, Mike Freeman Road, looks like we have Ray Wally Road. All these spots, again, need to be getting into that safe place. And it looks like some of the main roads here are going to be Brewertown Road. You got Lowell Roop Road, zoomed in a little bit closer. Looks like Lovewell Loop, easy for me to say, Old Dutch Road, and then let's go ahead and expand this a little bit. Again, all this Lovewell Road, we've got Joe Drive. Looks like we have a few main roads here, also Piave Church Road in these spots. So in this kind of corner in between Highway 63 and Highway 42, those are the spots that you need to be getting into that safe place, interior room, away from windows. So let me go ahead and go back to the main radar product here. Let's go ahead and go back to the home view. Again, that's going to be our main focus here, but we are tracking additional showers and thunderstorms mainly north of the I-10 corridor at this point. Thankfully, nothing as of right now is at severe criteria, but we'll be watching all these storms very closely. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the national view, and then that way we can see what's happening just off to our west as well. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this out. So we have these showers and thunderstorms that are developing ahead of a cold front that's still to our west. This is all part of this first window of storms that we're currently seeing. So as we go from now through the basically evening, all these showers and thunderstorms will have the potential to produce damaging straight line wind gusts, hail, and even a few tornadoes. And in the northwestern corner of our area, mainly along and west of I-65, it's a level 3 enhanced risk where a few strong tornadoes today also can't be completely ruled out. But as we go ahead and look at some of the look at the tornado watch across the NBC 15 area, that's going to continue through 10 o'clock tonight. So this includes Mobile, Baldwin counties, and all of our inland counties as well. Meanwhile, the tornado watch that we currently have for Jackson County, Mississippi, that's going to continue through 8 o'clock. So if you're just tuning in here, the time is currently 2:47. We're tracking a tornado warning that is in effect for the northwestern corner of Greene County in Mississippi. This storm, the rotation itself, is not in Greene County, Mississippi just yet, but it is quickly moving to the northeast. Again, this goes until 3 o'clock. And as I zoom things in here, you can see that ahead of this rotation, this is now working its way into Rickton. chances are you're probably not going to be able to see this coming. Please do not go outside and try to see this. This could very well be a rain wrap kind of storm. So in Rickton and in Brewer, get into that safe place now. It even goes up for those of you up around Good Hope. And some of these storms today will also be able to produce some hail. Doesn't look like on the hail tracker this storm is producing hail, but in the National Weather Service, when they issued this warning, could see some hail maybe up to 3/4 inch size, which that in itself may be able to do just a little bit of damage. But we're also seeing some strong winds and also looking at some very heavy rain. It doesn't matter what form the winds come in. If they're strong enough, they can do damage, and this storm will be capable, again, of producing those damaging straight line winds. But as we zoom into Rickton right now, you can clearly see that we still have this couplet right here. Reds and greens and coming together. That tells us from the radar that's where we have that rotation currently. We're using the National Weather Service radar in Mobile. So the reds indicate winds moving away from the radar, and the greens indicate winds moving towards the radar. And that's where your circulation is going to be at this particular point. If you're in Rickton, again, you need to be getting into that safe place. Anywhere from Rickton over towards East Side, up towards Brewer, up towards Good Hope, anybody really in the northeastern corner of Perry County in Mississippi, seek shelter immediately. And pretty soon, within the next 15 minutes or so, this storm and this couplet is going to be moving into Greene County and Mississippi. So in the next 1 minute, you can see it moving in the east side. Within the next 15 minutes in Henderson, which is just outside of the NBC 15 area, and in Piave, that also goes for the next 15 minutes. I'm going to check with the National Weather Service in Mobile and see if there are any new updates that they've posted here. And it looks like the National Weather Service, as of 5 minutes ago, are just continuing the tornado warning. So the threat of this storm producing a tornado does continue. So again, radar indicated tornado moving, getting ready to move over Rickton in Perry County in Mississippi, just to the west of the NBC 15 area. Please do not try to go outside and see this. And I'll try to go ahead and draw on the circulation one more time just to add a little bit more to this. So that's where that couplet is going to be, and I'll go ahead and draw that here. Currently moving over Rickton, and then I'll go ahead and put on the just base reflectivity where we could see the rain, and you can see that it's currently embedded within the storm. If this storm is again producing a tornado, chances are you're not going to be able to see this coming. So please do not try to go outside and see it. Just try to get in that safe place, interior room, away from windows. Let's go ahead and look at some of these other storms that are developing kind of in this same area. Down towards New Augusta, this storm not producing, doesn't have a tornado warning associated with it, and thankfully it doesn't look like we're seeing too much in the way of any rotation here. Let me go ahead and zoom things back here and look at some of the other winds across the NBC 15 area. And so far, again, that is the main couplet that we're currently seeing. So out there currently, looks to be the only threat of producing a tornado. But again, as we move through the rest of this afternoon, as we continue with that daytime heating, these showers and thunderstorms will continue to have more fuel as the storm system driving all of this continues to work its way in our area. The time is currently 2:51. We have 9 more minutes with this tornado warning. So again, this is currently moving over Rickton in the northwestern corner of Greene County in Mississippi. Now is the time that you need to be seeking shelter. So let's go ahead and look at that tornado safety. Go to an interior room, away from windows, lowest floor of your home. Obviously, the basement would be the best place, but more often than not, it's going to be a bathroom or a closet. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. It might sound silly, but as you go to that safe place, take a helmet with you, maybe a couple of pillows or even a mattress. That way you can cover yourself, because if this storm is producing a tornado and we do see some flying debris, head injuries could be a real thing. So go into that safe place and also go put on the helmet just to be safe as well. So again, interior room, away from windows, in a sturdy structure. If you're in the northwestern corner of Greene County in Mississippi, time is quickly running out for you to be able to get into that safe place. It's still not in your neighborhood just yet, but with how quickly this storm is moving, it is going to be in your neighborhood very soon, because this storm, as of right now, looks like it is now in the process of moving through Rickton. So if you know of anybody in Rickton, let them know that they need to be seeking shelter. This is currently moving over Dogwood Avenue, close to Highway 42. So this is one of the major intersections in that particular area in Perry County in Mississippi. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom things back out and get you a new timeline on this particular storm. Again, moving to the northeast right around 45 miles per hour. This tornado warning goes until 3 o'clock of Greene County, Mississippi. And within the next 5 minutes, this storm is going to be right on top of Brewer. Again, Perry County, Mississippi is not in the NBC 15 area, but I know that there are a few spots in Perry County that do indeed watch us. So again, make sure that you're heeding this warning and seek that shelter immediately. And go back to the home view and talk about what else is currently happening. The time is currently 2:54 here on this Wednesday afternoon. It is a code red weather day. Most of the NBC 15 area at this point is included within a tornado watch that's going to go until 10 o'clock tonight. The exception here is in Jackson County in Mississippi. So as we go throughout this afternoon and into this evening, showers and thunderstorms that develop will be capable of becoming severe. The main concern will be the potential of damaging straight line wind gusts that could exceed 60 miles per hour and even be higher in some cases. But we also, especially over our inland communities, can't rule out the potential for isolated tornadoes that could even be strong, maybe EF2 plus. So we do have that tornado watch currently in place, and for the most part, at least in the short term, the tornado watch that you see for Mobile and Baldwin County is mainly inland, but again, that doesn't mean that the threat is zero closer to the coastline. This is going to be round one of the storms that we see today. The second round will be arriving as we go into tonight, because the cold front that is driving all of this will be working its way through from tonight into the overnight hours, and it really won't be until daybreak tomorrow where that risk of severe weather comes to an end once the cold front does clear. So as we go through the rest of today and into tonight, make sure that you're staying on top of the weather. We're going code red to make sure that you know that you need to be staying on top of the weather, and we're going to continue to be here through this afternoon and through tonight to make sure that we give you all the warnings and notifications that come in from the National Weather Service. So the time is currently 2:55. We have 5 more minutes with this warning. Let me check with the National Weather Service in Mobile if they're going to continue to extend this warning. It looks like we still haven't seen any new updates within the last 5 minutes. So that tells me that more than likely they're going to let this go through 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then we'll see if they continue to reissue the warning. And at that point, it'd be moving into Wayne County in Mississippi, up towards Henderson and up towards Mulberry. So we'll stay on this as long as there's a threat of a tornado in the northwestern corner. But on that last scan, the circulation doesn't look to be as well defined. So hopefully that means this storm is maybe gusting out where it's not producing as much of a threat. But of course, you can still see those reds and greens coming together. That still says that this storm is still rotating and still could produce a tornado. So radar indicated with this storm, and then on the rotation detector, you can see from Good Hope down south of Rickton, we're still looking at a decent amount of wind shear being produced by this storm. And this could be one of those situations where these storms that develop today could produce these spin-up tornadoes, fade away, and then produce them once again, just based on the kind of environment that we're looking at. But along Highway 42, if you're in Brewer, you need to be getting into that safe place. And now for those of you in that corridor between Highway 42 and Highway 63, in the northwestern corner of Greene County, Mississippi, now is the time that you need to be getting in your safe place. This is soon going to be on top of your area. So again, interior room, away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and make sure again that you're in the lowest elevation of your home inside of a sturdy structure. Looks like we'll be soon getting an update from the National Weather Service in Mobile. So we'll stay tuned with that. Let me go ahead and expand the view again and go back to the home view as we wait for this message to come in from the National Weather Service. Time is currently 2:57. This tornado warning goes until 3 o'clock, and we are seeing scattered showers across the NBC 15 area, but as of right now, the only threat currently is in the northwestern corner of Greene County, Mississippi. So again, this is in the northwestern corner of our area. That is why we're currently interrupting our coverage as this storm is. So we got 2 more minutes left with this particular tornado warning. But even if this storm is not producing a tornado at this point, we still could be looking at this storm producing some very strong winds, because anytime you see a storm that's just rotating in general, that potential will continue to exist. So a minute and a half left with this tornado warning. Again, if you're in Piave, Brewer, get into that safe place now. And if you're in the northwestern corner of Sand Hill, you'll want to do the same. We also have Smithtown and Henderson, within this tornado warning. Let me give an updated track on this since we haven't done that in the last couple of minutes. Again, these storms are going to be moving pretty quickly today. This storm moving over Brewer currently, next 10 minutes in Henderson, and within the next 10 minutes will be in Piave as well. So based on what I'm seeing, looks like the National Weather Service is going to let this tornado warning expire. So hopefully that is the case. We'll stay with the threat of a tornado at least has come to an end for now. But again, just want to stay with this for the next minute or so, and we'll give you that update once the National Weather Service posts that information. But let's go ahead and go back to the home view and just talk about where we're at and where we're going to be going for those of you that are just might have tuned in. The time is currently 2:59. Most of the NBC 15 area is currently included within a tornado watch. Most of the tornado watch that you see here is going to continue through 10 o'clock. This is all part of the first round of severe storms. If you were watching yesterday, there were going to be 2 windows for severe storms, one early and then one later on. So this first wave continues into the evening, and then as we go from tonight into the overnight hours, the cold front driving everything will move from west to east across our area, and that will also have the potential to produce severe weather. This tornado watch signifies that we have the potential to see storms produce damaging straight line winds, isolated tornadoes, a few strong tornadoes, mainly in our inland communities, can't be ruled out. Storms also will be capable of producing some hail and some very heavy rain. So as we go through the rest of this afternoon and into tonight, make sure that you're continuing to stay on top of the weather. And here's the latest from the National Weather Service. As you can see, the tornado warning has been allowed to be expired. So as of right now, there are no active tornado warnings across the NBC 15 area. The time is currently 3 o'clock. We're going to continue to watch these storms carefully. If there are any more tornado warnings issued for our area, you'll see us back here on NBC 15. And if we don't see any tornado warnings between now and 5 o'clock, you'll see us back here on NBC 15 News at 5 o'clock. But for that, let's go ahead and send it back to regularly scheduled programming and make sure that you stay weather aware as we go through this afternoon.